Hello, family. I know what you're thinking. You finally have like good makeup on, and I didn't record it. I didn't do a tutorial. It was an accident. I did my makeup today, and it came out so good. Toot toot. And you know what I had to do? Go to GameStop and get a gift card for my son and get cat food, because that's generally how that goes. So today I am going to rank my best and worst foundations of 2018. Now here's my disclaimer. What I like and what you may like may be totally different. I would not buy what I recommend by any stretch of the imagination, so don't blame me. My skin, my face, it's its own planet, its own ozone layer. I am 31 years old. I have big pores. I have dry skin. It gets like a super freaking grease lick right up the middle during the middle of the day. I am either taking great care of my skin, I am using my Clarisonic, I am putting my vitamin C on, I'm using my retinol,
or I am passed out with my Urban Decay All-Nighter on and my lashes stuck to my forehead or my dresser. So, take what I say with a grain of salt.
Now that that's out of the way, let's get into this. So I'm going to start from the bottom. Bad news first, guys. My least favorite foundation I tried this year was the Makeup Revolution Fast Face Stick Foundation. I did not like this. My son actually put it all over his face to look like a football player at one point. And he looked like he had that old school sunscreen. It's just too greasy, and by the time I get it blended into my skin, it is just a mess. It separates in my fine lines. If you try to powder to set it, it would cake. It just did not look good. I did buy a darker color for contouring and it works okay, but with certain foundations, it would lift the foundation. So it's just a pass from me. My next two, and I hate to do this because I love certain products from Bare Minerals.
I love their liquid lip.
Some of my favorites. Both of the foundations they have. I used to love this. This is the Pure Brightening Serum Foundation and the Bare Minerals Bare Pro. It looks terrible on me, and I will insert a picture of me wearing this. I remembered to take a picture of a close-up of my skin. It does not matter how I prep my skin. It does not matter what primer I use. It's so hard to describe. It doesn't feel dry. My skin won't feel dry, but it will look like the close-up of the desert floor. It just separates. I will blend and blend and blend, and sometimes I can get it to look okay. And then an hour later, I look in the mirror and it looks terrible, both of them. I don't know if they use those minerals in these. I'm going to assume that. Make an ass out of just me, not you, just me. But it just does not agree with my skin. Next, I only didn't really put this at the bottom because I bought it at Marshall's and it might have been expired. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the dropper was broken. I got messages saying how to use this thing, but it just doesn't hold it in there. It's supposed to have a gingerbread smell, but it smells like crappy Play-Doh to me. It was super slick. It looked okay on my skin, but nothing to write home about, especially for what it costs full price. It's in the first video I did, the Marshall's haul fail. It's actually in my little So I wasn't going to put it at the bottom because I haven't given it a fair shot, but I just wasn't super impressed by this. And the next one is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. This is okay, and I could see it working for certain skin types, especially younger, oily skin. It's super full coverage, super matte. It doesn't really work for me. I have more mature skin, so it really just dried me out and enhanced all my fine lines. It worked great for Halloween makeup, things like that. But other than that, I probably wouldn't repurchase this. Next is the Wet n Wild Soft Ivory. I actually like this okay for a very full coverage foundation, and for a matte foundation, it's super inexpensive. It works okay. I do have to be careful not to put too much on, but it does smell like absolute garbage. It smells like paint thinner. It smells like a bad decision. I can't imagine it's good for your skin, but what do I know? So it's kind of middle of the road for me. If you're on a budget though and you need a full coverage, takes great pictures, lots of choices in color, this may be a great choice for you. I think it's only like $5 or $6. Next is the Revolution Conceal and Define. I'd actually may even put it lower than this. It's okay. It's super drying. I have to do small parts of my skin and really heavily moisturize before. And I have to get it blended out in each part of my face. I cannot put it on my entire face and then try to work around, or it just dries out really quickly. No powder needed. I do not put powder on this, or I again look like the desert floor. It's an okay one, same thing, it's a decent price. They do have an awesome shade range. It's actually even overwhelming for someone as light as me. And that goes to say the same thing for the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop. I was in the like 20th row and that has never happened to me. I am always bottom, first two, easy peasy. But again, this is super dry. I could see it working great in the summer. It's not going to be a great winter foundation for me. Next is the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid. This is one of those ones that I have just used for years. Babe? I'm confusing my cats with a grown man. My cats need to go on a diet. What would a video be without my animals tripping me out? What's crazy is half the time I shoot, my kids are home, and they are less disruptive than the creatures in this house. I really enjoy this foundation. It is not full coverage. It is medium, buildable, a satin finish. They actually just recently changed their packaging. It used to say something else, I can't remember. The only downside to this is it definitely oxidizes, and I wear the lightest color, maybe even the second to lightest color. This is Porcelain 10, and it can, in the lowest of winter times, even get a little orange on me. So that is one downside to it, but it is just super easy to apply. It's great for a no makeup day or just a light coverage day. Quick get out of the house. I can blend it into my skin super quick. Obviously it's drugstore, it's affordable. My camera died mid-sentence, and you want to know why? I swear, having animals is more difficult than children. I don't know what I was thinking. I remember when I was pregnant with my first child, and I was worried I wasn't going to love my son as much as I loved my cat.
Now, they all just drive me nuts.
Again, super affordable, super easy, not super full coverage, but it's one that I find myself repurchasing, reusing, wear it at work all the time, easy to use. Next. Now, I am actually wearing this today, and I am enjoying it. I got some compliments at the grocery store getting cat food on my skin, and I don't feel like that ever happens. I feel like my skin is probably one of my bigger downfalls. I don't get acne because I am on birth control. When I am off birth control, my face gets bumpier and I get less lumpier. You can't have it all, people. But I do have lots of fine lines. I didn't take great care of my skin. I use the tanning bed a lot. I did do a photo treatment a few years ago. It zapped away all my sun damage and freckles and things like that, and that did help. But I do have lots of fine lines. I make lots of crazy faces, and therefore I have lots of these. But this does apply really nicely. It reminds me a lot of this, but it is far more hydrating. Same thing, you have to kind of section it off a little bit, and you really have to work this into your skin or it will kind of sit on the top. But overall, the color match is great for me, and I know that they're not known for having expansive color selection, but... And next. I'm actually going to kind of put a tie on these two. I did a side-by-side in my last video, and the Maybelline Fit Me next to the Lancome, my crusty old friend, whom I've always loved dearly, looked almost exactly the same. I had to work it in a little bit more. But dang, I mixed the two colors, worked it in, it lasted the same amount of time, looked great on my skin. Same little issues of settling into the fine lines like they all do. But she held her own. And she's cheap. She's not. But I love them both. So once again from the bottom. Revolution Face Base Stick. My two Bare Minerals. Sorry. Becca Foundation. Doesn't even have a label on it. Weird. Aqualuminous Perfecting Foundation. NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Wet n Wild Photo Focus. Revolution Conceal and Define. Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid. Tarte Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation. And the Lancome Teint Ideal Ultra. This is why you come to my channel.
I know, for English, French, German, Swedish lessons.
And the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. That is my rank for 2018. Let me know down in the comments what your guys' favorite foundations were and your least favorite foundations were this year. Hit the like and subscribe button. Maybe hit the notification bell if you're real crazy. Feel free to share this on Facebook, whatever. Get your girl monetized one of these days. Feed my habit. Because that's literally all I will do. If I ever get monetized, I'm just gonna buy more.
Freaking.
That's the reality of the situation. Whatever. I hope y'all enjoyed watching something a little bit different from me. And I hope everyone has a great new year. And cheers to new and great products in 2019. Although let's hope they don't shove them down our throat.
Every 5 minutes.
Bye guys!